we sometimes miss. Everybody can make their own list. You don't get much better than this. Well, I remember when I was younger, nothing ever seemed to satisfy. Now I'm older and wiser. All the years have opened up my eyes. Started out strong and I lost my way. Took a wrong turn in the road. When I look back on the lessons I've learned, there's only one thing I know. It don't get much better than this. The simple pleasures we sometimes miss. To love and be loved is the greatest thing. It don't get much better than this. You get weary on your journey. Life's troubles seem to drag you down. Complications, frustrations make you feel it's a waste of time. I believe we're just passing through. I'm never gonna be here again. You've gotta make the most of every day. Live your life while you can. Oh, it don't get much better than this. Simple pleasures we sometimes miss. The comfort of a friend when you're feeling down. Don't get much better than this. It don't get much better than this. Everybody could make their own list. A good old amp and a nice guitar. Don't get much better than this. Well, you can keep your games and your fantasies. They never meant that much to me. To save the future, we must face the past. Try to make a good thing last. Don't get much better than this. Everybody can make their own list. May not be cool, but it sure feels right. Don't get much better. Don't get much better. Oh, don't get much better than this. When I am down and oh my soul so weary, when troubles come and my heart burdened be, then I am still and wait here in the silence until you come and sit a while with me. There is no life without its hunger. Each restless heart beats so imperfectly. But when you come and I'm filled with wonder, sometimes I think I glimpse eternity. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up to more than I can be. Been a long time traveling down this hard and rocky road. We're all just trying to survive, walking together and sharing the load, doing all we can to stay alive. I believe the journey's near. Sing us a song with the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. It would help. It would help. After all that, I said, it went like this. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. 'Cause we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling. All right, you ready? It's 8 o'clock on a Sunday. Regular crowd shuffles in. There's an old man, he's sitting next to me, making love to his tonic and gin. He said, son, can you play me a memory? I'm not really sure how it goes, but it's sad and it's sweet, and I knew it complete when I wore a younger man's clothes. La la la, la la la, la la la, la la la, la la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling all right. Now John at the bar, he's a friend of mine, and he gets me my drinks for free. And he's quick with a joke, oh, he'll light up the smoke, but there's some place that he'd rather be. He said, John, I believe this is killing me. Oh, as the smile ran away from his face. Oh, I know I could be a big movie star if I could get out of this place. La 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 la, la 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 la, la la la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling alright. Now Paul, he's a real estate novelist who never had time for a wife. And he's talking with Davy, who's still in the Navy and probably will be for life. And the waitress is practicing politics as the businessmen slowly get stoned. Oh, they're sharing a drink they call loneliness, but it's better than drinking alone. La 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 la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling all right. It was pretty reasonable for a Sunday, with the sun shining and the birds tweeting and the barbecues are calling and all the television programs that might appeal to people such as you, and the manager, in an effort to not look as though she's fast asleep, she gives you a wave.
Wave? I'm not fast asleep.
And an undertaker's smile.
Not an undertaker.
Well, you might as well. I always like that. I always look at I don't know whether I said this last week, but you look at the calendar, you see, bless the dead body. That's 11 a.m. That's what she's got to go and do tomorrow.
Stop it.
So I don't know how do you do that, by the way? I don't even know.
I'll find out tomorrow.
You'll find out tomorrow. But what kind of week have you had, Sue?
Me, I've had a lovely week actually. We had 30 or 40 people in our back garden on Thursday evening, which was lovely. We invited the choir round from church, and the Christmas choir and the Stainers choir, and it was
40
just
of them.
Lovely time.
It was exhausting, wasn't it? It was exhausting but lovely. And we played some Mozart to them, and we had lovely Elaine Hayward, who is watching tonight. I'm watching you, Elaine.
She sang beautifully.
Oh, she sang some Mozart,
hey, people, she can sing.
You'll be hearing more from her, I can tell you that. She'll come in and sing it for me, record it for me. And then she can be one of the community. I think she's coming, actually, on that day, on that November day.
Yeah, fabulous.
And who knows? She may even sing for you. And I hope you're going to put that, what is it, November the what?
15th, I think.
15th? Is it 15th?
I think so.
November the 15th.
I'll talk about it later when I've got it all in front of me.
Yeah, exactly.
But
I'm just going to flag it up now. November the 15th. Some of you can't come, and some of you can't afford it, and that's fair enough. But we'd like those of you that can and can get there. That would be great to see you. But that's... We played that, a little bit of Porgi Amor from the Marriage of Figaro. And then we had... No, I'm not going to play.
Don't play,
because apparently we get...
You get gonged if you do.
You get... With the other one that goes... That one. And then don't sing it. Because then it goes silence. Apparently, that belongs to Beethoven, people, okay? That belongs to Beethoven. It's for release. But somebody in New York has copyrighted the first 8 notes or something of that. I don't know how they've done this, but they've managed to copyright the theme by Beethoven, who has been dead for some 200 years. And how did they get away with that rubbish? And we've been silent some of our videos. Every week I get a notice.
So you can't play it.
So I can't play it. But if you just imagine going, if I was going da 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 ba ba da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba ba a dee da da ba ba da da ba dee ba da bam 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 bam. I'm slightly stir crazy.
You are slightly stir crazy. Can I just point out? I thought he played the Moonlight Sonata.
Sorry. He did? Oh, yeah, he did. I'm just saying. This was the other one that he can't play.
This is the other one, is it? Okay, fine. I'm confused.
Oh, ginger and lemon. Nothing like it. Forgot. Do you know what? I'm sorry about that. I forgot to put the.
I've got my
microphone
peppermint.
Right, I forgot to put the microphone on. And what did you say? Did you help me? You didn't help me at all. Sue's on her own tonight.
I'm on my own. I was watching other things to make sure it was all working.
There we go. So here's my microphone all over there, right? All the way through.
I was making sure it was all coming up on the screen.
Yeah, okay. So she gives me a smile. We got a reasonably busy show tonight. We got a lovely interview with the lovely exclusive interview here on JV Live in the Steinway room. An exclusive interview with the man himself, Mr. Steve Legg. Went down to Littlehampton, and it's a lovely little interview. We just had a half an hour together, and you can get to see that very lovely little interview in a few minutes time, because she knows that it's me. Usually, they've been coming to see you. Depends who you are, I suppose. To forget about life. Well, generally, for a while. Oh, and the piano, it sounds like a carnival, and the microphone, it smells like a beer, and they sit at the bar and put bread in my jar and say, man, what are you doing here? La 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 la. La 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 la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling all right. Once again, welcome you to another JV Live in the Steinway room. I think this is number 125 or 126. I think once we get to about 300, we'll give up counting. But right now, it's 10 minutes and 50 seconds. For those of you who were running a book on it, you can contact the bookies now. And it's 10 minutes and 50 seconds that lasted. And there's nothing much to last, is there? Sue, you know what? I think actually we should sing a song, and it's a strange one, but you never heard it before. I am a poor, wayfaring stranger, while journeying through this world of woe, and there's no sickness, no toil, no danger in that bright land to which I go. I know dark clouds will gather around me. I know my way is rough and steep, and beautiful fields lie just before me, where God's redeemed their vigils keep. I'm going back to see my Father. I'm going there, no more to roam. Oh, I'm gonna going over Jordan. Oh, I'm only going over home. And on piano, Mr. JV. Well, that's the electric piano. Piano, JV. A very famous man. Oh, I forgot his name. I want to wear that crown of glory when I get home to that good land. Well, I want to shout salvation's story in concert with the blood-washed man. I'm going there to see my Savior. I'm going there, no more to roam. I'm only going over Jordan. I'm only going over home. To see my mother. To see my father.
I'm going back.
No more to roam. Going home. I'm going back to see my father. I'm going back. No more to roam. Back in that 95, 2005? 2005.
2005, something like that.
2003.
And
2003.
Karen Bater's just written in and said, Heather just said in a very loud voice for her, I like this one. Well done.
Heather, you're a cool dude. I love you, Heather. Thank you for that. And shall I put the hat on or off?
Well, it depends if you're going to get hot.
Put that one on. A little bit cooler now.
You look a bit Indiana Jones in it, actually.
Oh, and do you know he's doing a new film?
I know.
Did you know he's doing a new film? I saw him in an interview the other day. He was so awkward. He just didn't want to talk about it at all. He doesn't do interviews. Harrison Ford, he doesn't do interviews. So he's put in front by the movie people, and he goes and does an interview, and he doesn't answer questions. He goes, no, I don't want to. Just smiles, just laughs. He thinks it's hilarious. I'd love to do an interview like that where I go, well, I don't want to answer that question. I'm not going to answer that one either. No, you know those people.
Yeah, the thing is, you have to be as good as Harrison Ford in order to...
Oh, that's nasty, isn't it? That's
to
really...
be difficult in an interview.
Why would you say something like
Otherwise,
that?
people will go, oh dear,
do you know what?
not interviewing JV.
What do you mean? I can't believe you.
This song is for P. P is in hospital and he's going to be there for a little while because he's on an intravenous drip.
Is he still there?
Oh yeah, be there for a while, I think. So we love you, P, and we'll think of you with this one forever. So
Always.
This one's for you.
Fly me to the moon. Let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, darling, kiss me. Come on and fill my life with song my life with song and let me sing forevermore. You're all I long for, all I worship and adore. Please be true. Oh, in other words, in other words, oh, in other words, I love you. Now, can I say,
That was lovely.
P
Yeah.
has been one of those guys. Now, if you talk about loyalty, Rachel and P have been truly, and I think actually, I hope you're listening to this, P.
Well, Rachel's just written in, said she's had a tough few days, but she's pretty certain he's going to be watching tonight.
If you are listening tonight, you're listening from a bed, a hospital bed. I think quite a few of us know what that's like, and I certainly remember being there. And actually, I always think of the man that you are. Whenever I see you, you come to as many concerts as you can of ours, and you sit there with your oxygen bottle if you have to.
It's not like an oxygen bottle.
What is it?
It's a feeding tube.
A feeding tube. Well, he's feeding, he's eating whilst I'm singing. That's all I know. He's eating oxygen or something. I never asked him what was in that. I assumed it was oxygen. That's nice. Well, next time, tell me what you're eating, P. Okay? Is it fish and chips with mushy peas, or is it what? Anyway, you've had one heck of a year, going and all over the place, seeing wonderful sights. And Rachel is one of those people that is just one of the angels.
She is.
She is truly one of the angels. Not only that, but you've been personally generous to us.
Yeah.
So
kind.
often, so often.
Kind. And
I sing with all my heart for you. I was singing up to top Fs, which I haven't sung for a long time.
marvellous.
And part of the reason I was singing at the top Fs today.
Why is that, Jonathan?
Well, it's funny you should ask that.
Why
Sue.
is that, Jonathan?
Why do you think it might be, Sue? Tell me, Sue.
Jonathan today has been in a
Cotswolds.
little place called Chadlington, which is otherwise known as the village that's had Jeremy Clarkson descend into it in the last few years trying to be a farmer. And in this little village of Chadlington, a lovely friend of ours, Richie, was hosting a singing competition, and Jonathan was
part of his festival that he ran.
There, music festival, and Jonathan was chief judge. Were you chief
Well,
judge?
no, I wasn't chief judge. We were all judging together.
Okay.
I was just the guest judge. Let's put
Guest
it that way.
judge.
That's
Okay.
The guest judge.
Okay.
The
The
guest
guest
judge.
judge. But we know, really.
No, we don't.
Anyway, he was the
Just
guest
the
judge.
guest judge.
And he was there listening to all these beautiful voices. Young voices.
And I'm going to read, in Jackanory Corner today, I'm going to read you a little bit back from back in the day. And it was listening to all these young voices that just, oh my goodness, it just reminded me of how good I used to be.
And you still are, because you've got all those lovely notes just then.
Well, and I just thought, I can sing a top F. Please, sir, can I sing a top F? So I was judging these people, and I had the pleasure, one of my own students was in there, and Joe Edmonds, he sung so well today. He didn't win, but he took part in what was an extraordinarily high standard of singing there now these days for going into opera houses and the classical world. And not all of them are going to make it, not all of them, because they're just not, the place isn't big enough, the profession isn't big enough. And it just made me reflect back on the day when we started, and everybody, well, they didn't believe I could do anything, did they?
No.
Do you remember that?
They were pretty dismissive.
Yeah, everybody, actually. Pretty much
Well,
everybody.
if you think about it, how many opera singers do most people know?
Well, I don't know any.
Well,
won't get a nerve.
So yes, it all seemed to be a bit of a pipe dream, really.
It was, and people would say to you, wouldn't they, well, when you were working at the job centre?
The trouble was, I worked at the job centre, and it was in the days of paper records, and there was a drawer that was full of paper records that were just of actors and singers and dancers and so on, and that was the drawer, and no one ever bothered to look in that drawer. You just signed someone on and put it in the drawer.
Because it never worked.
Because that was just the way of it. You just knew there was nothing you could do to help them find work, and they would start working, and then they'd come back and they'd say, right, I finished my contract, and you get the file out and you'd fill in what they'd done and put it back in the drawer. So I'm trying to remember what the number was. I think they were the 257s or something.
You even had a name for them. That's really disturbing.
So I think the 257 drawer was very much, well, that's the people with a pipe dream. And so, of course, having a husband who was interested and longing to be in the performing arts did not go down very well with my colleagues in the job centre, I can tell you. He's living off you. He doesn't mean to get a job. He's living off you, he is.
How right they were, and I've lived off you for the whole of your life, haven't I? Actually, now I am living off you.
No, you're not.
I am
No,
now.
you're not.
And
pulling
she's
my
out
weight.
there. I sit at home, ladies and gentlemen, twiddling my thumbs during the week as she buries yet another person. So if you want to be buried, here's the woman. But don't stand too long, otherwise she'll have you in that 6 foot under before you know where you are. Now, I think we should divert to the world. I remember that Sylvia, some people like this stuff, and I started my career, ironically, doing this stuff, and it was quite interesting. I remember doing one for Ian Hiscock, doing a festival when I was about 22, wasn't I? 22. And I was doing a GNS festival down in the North Devon Music Festival that he'd started. And words were always a mystery to me. So I was doing when the night wind howls and the mountain and the bats in the bay play. And it's a song about bats, and we were doing it in a barn. And literally, and this was no word of a lie, as I sung and the bats in the something fly, down flew into the audience one of the bats and what people were swerving as they were going past. So I was standing on the stage trying to ignore this. It happened again at Glyndebourne. Dame.
You don't want to get bats in your hair, do you?
You don't. Well, no. All right. Anyway, I'm trying to make a point here, and you're just. Anyway, I think this song is for the Days. Now, I don't know why it's for the Days.
Because it's their 5th wedding anniversary on the 7th. So in 4 days' time, they are going to be 5 years old as a couple. So congratulations, guys.
On a tree by a river, a little tom-tit sang willow, tit-willow, tit-willow. And I said to him, Dicky bird, why do you sit singing willow, tit-willow, tit-willow? He sobbed and he sighed, and a gurgle he gave, and he plunged himself into the billowy wave. And an echo arose from the suicide grave. Oh, willow, tit-willow, tit-willow. Now I feel just as sure as I'm sure that my name isn't Willow, tit-willow, tit-willow. It was blighted affection that made him exclaim, oh, willow, tit-willow, tit-willow. And if you remain callous and obdurate, I shall perish as he did, and you will know why. Though I probably shall not exclaim as I die. Oh, willow, tit-willow, tit-willow.
That's it.
Lovely.
I know. I only did 2 verses.
I noticed that.
No, you didn't.
I did.
How
I
did you
did.
do-
I
what's
was
the
waiting.
first- what's the bit that I forgot? You see?
I
You
don't
know.
know.
do
I
you?
wasn't paying that much attention. Can I just ask you to help me out here? Your camera on your keyboard has swung
Knocked
round a
together.
bit, so I'm not using that one because it's that's better.
Is that better?
Yes, we can all see now. Look.
Is that okay?
That's much.
Let's just do a little bit of piano and see whether you can work it out. Can you see that? That was the test. I haven't played that. You'll be grateful to
You
know.
haven't played that for an awfully long time.
Yes, it
Used
was
to
the one.
play that
Remember?
a lot.
I'm not good at that.
No, please don't play that.
No.
Please don't play that.
I think somebody wanted to come upstairs when we were in London. They wanted to come up and kill me. They'd heard it one more time.
They did.
I want to do moments. I think actually.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, and I'm gonna. I think.
Going
I'll
to play
just-
this from the piano.
Yeah, I'm gonna play it from the piano today.
All right then.
Because
This is particularly for our Cindy. She had a long and distressing conversation with the girlfriend of the chap who died. If you remember, Cindy sadly came across someone who'd just been killed on the road, and it was a long and distressing conversation. And I think Cindy was left a bit shaken, but she did tell her that she prayed for her, and I think she was grateful. So, Cindy, my dear, this one is for you.
These are the moments that we love so well. Precious moments caught within a spell. All too soon our lives, they fade away. And these are the moments that we wish would stay. And if I had my life to live again, I would choose to be with you, my friend. Time moves slowly and it goes so fast, and who knows how long the days will last. So cherish deep within you the love you get today. Let the moment linger, for tomorrow steals that away. Tomorrow steals that away. These are the memories that we made so well. Lives like stories that we long to tell. When we're old with not too much to say, we'll have the memories that we made today. that we made today.
And now this one is for Sarah Porteous. It's for your dad. He is going to be 70 on Friday, I believe, and this is his favourite hymn. So this one is for you and for him.
Here is love, vast as the ocean, loving kindness as the flood. When the Prince of Life, our ransom, shed for us his precious blood. Who his love will not remember, who can cease to sing his praise? He can never be forgotten. Throughout hell's eternal day. On the mount of crucifixion, fountains opened deep and wide. Through the floodgates of God's mercy flowed a vast and gracious tide. Grace and love like mighty rivers poured incessant from above, and heaven's peace and perfect justice kiss the guilty world in love. Let me on your love accepting love you ever all my days. Let me seek your kingdom only, and my life be to your praise. Oh, you alone shall be my glory. Nothing in the world I see. You have cleansed and sanctified me. You yourself have set me free. You yourself have set me free.
Why don't we
Well,
have a video,
that was
Sue?
a nice Insta arrangement.
It was. Why don't we have a little video, eh?
yes,
And what are you up for that, my love?
Yes, I am.
A little
hang
break
on
for
minute,
me.
Hang on
I'm
a minute,
tired.
hang on a minute,
Just going.
Rachel. Just wait.
Just wait, Rachel. Just wait. Not that quick.
No,
Okay.
no. I'm trying to find what I've done with them.
Oh, all right. Jolly good. So, everybody, have a look at this one and enjoy it a lot, I hope. And Sue can't find it anyway. She can't find it. Rachel, take over.
No,
Thank you.
she's not ready
Oh,
to take
she's
over.
not taking.
She's just coming
so
to
hold
set
on.
up.
This is like a Radio 2 thing. This is a segue. I was going for a smooth thing,
I
and
know,
you've lost
but
it.
I've
Hurry
lost
up!
it.
Come on, find it quick.
Which
People
one
are
do you
losing the will
want?
to live.
Which did you want?
I don't care. Put one on. How about How Great Thou Art?
O Lord my God, when I in awesome wonder consider all the works thy hand hath made, I see the stars, I hear the mighty thunder, thy power throughout the universe displayed. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. And when I think that God his Son not sparing sent him to die, I scarce can take it in, that on the cross my burden gladly bearing, he bled and died to take away my sin. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. When Christ shall come with shout of acclamation and take me home, what joy shall fill my heart? Then shall I bow in humble adoration and there proclaim, my God, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. God bless you and good night. Thank you.
Oh, I get emotional with that every time. When we were doing that, it was a huge program. It wasn't a work of fiction. It was a big program because there were the orchestra you wanted to include and the band and all the songs you wanted to do.
More.
So it was a lot of tracks. And How Great Thou Art was at the end. And really, you weren't well. And it wasn't, you were doing 2 nights. We weren't sure that you were going to manage the first night, let alone the second night. And we got to How Great Thou Art, and you just sang so well. And I remember standing there in floods of tears that you'd got to that point and that you'd done it so well. So, I always get quite emotional. That was for Graham Scott. I don't know if Graham Scott is watching tonight, but last week he happened to mention, or his wife happened to mention, that he loves your version of How Great Thou Art.
And that's
so that
the
was
version.
for him. And now, because she asked for it,
For no other reason.
this is for Amy. You mentioned you wanted it. So sorry to hear that you've just recently lost your mum. Our love goes out to you, and this song is especially for you.
Have always been there. He's young, he's afraid. Let him He's like the son I might have known if God had granted me a son. The summers die one by one. How soon they fly. On and on, and I am old. Will be gone. Bring him peace. Bring him joy. He is young. Is only a boy. You can't take and give. Let him be. Let him
Unexpected and wonderful.
Unexpected.
Unexpected.
Well, one has to, you see, one of the things you learn, I suppose, technically, is that you must always be ready. You never know. you never know.
Yeah, no,
and
you
I was
never
singing
know.
this
You
morning.
never know.
The kids were singing. They were a bit up to the age of 27. That's the maximum age you can be. I think 27, 28, something like that. And they were these young. There was a young girl from Ireland, lovely girl, Aileen or Aileen, whatever her name was, and she was 23. And there she was singing this beautiful collar to all her stuff at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Oh gosh,
I
that
mean,
is
it's
hard to do.
Well, they changed.
Hard
It's
to
the thing they have to
do.
get used to because
Yeah.
all dress rehearsals now are in the morning because they can't afford to do them. So you have to be up by 6 to be sure that your voice is warmed up properly. That's the way it works when you're doing a dress
Well,
rehearsal.
this is a man who said to me earlier, I'm feeling so tired. I've been
Well,
sitting
I
in the
was-
car for the
I
last
was in
2
the
days. I don't think I'll
bath.
sing much tonight.
I was hopping around. I've done my hip in. Thank the Lord, I'm seeing the osteopath on Tuesday. I just must tell you. I mean, that's just one slightly frivolous thing, but it's not frivolous because the DJVIY continues. Part
Yes.
le trois or le troisième or what is it? Troisième. Because the third, because my skill base has increased. Because I came in and the shower wasn't working, we could get the plumber, he came in to service the boiler, and I said to him, you've got to look at the shower.
But-
And Sue said, she's coming up she looked at, there it is on the phone.
I
she
looked it up on the
she said,
phone
why
and
don't you
realised
check?
that there were things that he could
You could
check.
check. So I went up and I stripped. Well, I didn't strip because you don't get paid for that. Nobody's going to get me to do that. So I stripped. There we are. That's it. Should we move on? No. So I
You
stripped.
took the shower
I
apart,
stripped the
didn't
whole
you?
shower to bits. I found its constituent parts, things I'd never seen the innards of. And there it was. I thought it was a solenoid. I don't even know what that word means. I have no idea, but somebody mentioned the word solenoid, so it sounded attractive and very DIY-ish. So I got that one. And then I looked in, and I turned, and the thing didn't work at the bottom. It did work at the bottom. It was all flowing out. I thought, that's not good. No, that's fine. Then I tried the pipe, with the pipe, and then the pipe, it flowed through the pipe. And then I realised that it was the shower head that was blocked.
It was just
so I was
full of
there with a
lime
pin.
scale.
So I didn't know it was lime scale, so I picked it all up. And now it is a free-flowing shower. The saga continues. So Stuart, don't take the mick. All of you, don't take the mick out of my... soon I'm going to be hiring myself out as plumber, electrician, and general... What? Why are you laughing? And I can come to your house and mend nearly anything.
You've been given the test signal by Rachel.
So I can do that. So that's the first thing.
Bless him.
And now
He was
this the
very
more,
happy.
and I think it's just a thing I'd like to talk about, and then we'll have some notices.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
And this is one thing that I was listening to, and it's a serious thing, following on from this lady losing her mum. And something that you and I wanted to talk about with you, really, and with the community. And we'd like your feedback, so keep an eye, Sue, because now you're free to keep an eye.
They're still laughing about the DIY.
Oh, well, all right. Well, calm down. All right. This is a serious thing now. Here's JV, serious face. But this is serious. I listened to, apparently a report came out yesterday or the day before, and it estimated they were doing an exploration of diabetics, right? And they were trying to work out how being lonely impacted diabetes. What are the effects on diabetes and therefore other things like kidney disease and everything else? It pricked made my ears prick up, and I thought, what's this? And then what they realised is that those doing the tests realised that they did further tests to extrapolate that 9 million people in this country, just get hold of this.
It's an awful lot of
9
people.
million people, I'm going to get the right thing, identified as having an acute sense of loneliness. Now, we've mentioned the loneliness epidemic before. This stream was set up, this show was set up to try and combat the loneliness of the evil of lockdown and all the rest of it that went on. So that people, what happened, you mentioned this, that lockdown didn't it saved people's bodies.
I mean, I think it's something that doing what I'm doing now, and I'm talking to people who have lost parents and so on recently, and so many of them are saying it was so difficult because they were ill during lockdown and I couldn't get to see them. I wasn't allowed in to see them, and the pain of that. And I said to
Well, it
Jonathan,
was more than that, wasn't it?
Well, of course it was, but
death.
but actually there was this attempt to keep people physically safe, but it didn't keep people mentally safe, and that's what we're seeing now. It's beginning to unravel.
Really big time, and actually deaths that occurred as a result. And what they're saying is that there are massive links to loneliness, to ill health, to major ill health, major issues that occur. So when people get lonely, and there was an advert on the radio the other day that really struck me, and I know this because I have suffered acute loneliness. One of the reasons I gave up opera, not just because I was physically, it became very difficult to do it with the illness, but because the extraordinary loneliness that I used to suffer. And I'd leave here, I'd weep in the taxi on the way to the airport, and then I'd just live for 2.5 months or something like that, away in another country. Sometimes I'd be able to get back if you could.
Well, it was only when you went to New Zealand that we couldn't get you back, but we learned that actually you couldn't
do more than 2
you
weeks.
couldn't do more than 2 weeks. So if it got into 3 weeks, that would be too much.
But
for
I
you.
knew
So,
what I was going back to.
So I used to spend ages trying to
Yeah.
find a flight that you
Yes.
could get, because they wouldn't tell you when you were finishing.
Never.
So on the Friday or whatever. So we didn't want to book a flight and then you not be able to use
because
it.
they often did rehearsal on Saturday.
Exactly,
They suddenly
exactly.
put one in. And that was the point. Once you're there to them completely. And doesn't matter how much of a star you are, they're not enough of a star ever to get out of rehearsals. Unless your name was Pavarotti or Domingo. Or people like Curie, who would say, Je has a headache. Je is très fatigué. I'm very tired. So that's a different thing. What we're trying to say is, for you in the community, what have you found?
So
go on.
Sharon Wilson, bless her, says, I'm lonely. However, it's not because of being on my own. It's because of a huge lack of understanding from others about my special needs and disabilities. I can feel lonely in a room full of people. And I can identify with that, Sharon. And I'm sorry that you feel that, because I do know what that feels like. Because on the flip side, I would be at home with 3 small boys. And at the weekend, I used to feel incredibly lonely. I would go to church and see people, but actually people would say things like, oh, where's Jonathan? What's he doing? Oh, that must be amazing. Oh, well, give him my love, won't you? And they'd walk away. So I, like you, I would often feel lonely in a place full of people. So I know how that feels, and I'm sure that lots of people can identify with that.
But
as
also
well.
because of your Jan, because of your
Yes.
needs.
Yes.
Because not seeing the world as ever, you're not being neurotypical, as they would say. And so I know the windmills. That's one of their big things. And remember Richard last week. If you remember, Richard talked about you're not defined by that, and so but still. The way that you see the world is difficult. But with anything coming up, Sue? Anything coming up with?
Well, David Hicks had just quoted after the fire, life in the city can be terribly lonely. Who's going to know you when... Oh, I've lost it. When you're lost in the crowd.
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah, lost in the crowd. I mean, I know many of you have felt that loneliness. And if you've lost someone...
And Susie, you're terribly lonely, and I know that. You've got your 2 lovely girls at home, but you're
Speed.
managing on your own. You're managing on your own, and that is a tough place.
It is,
Sorry.
and actually, and to say to Susie, these people, some of the people I know, and you make such an impact on other people. I came in the other day, and you were just you're always breathing smiles. But I know that sometimes can hide a deeper pain. I know that, and I know you fill your time with things to make sure that you're not lonely. And I think that's often the case. I used to sit in my bedroom, and I used to have a calendar on the wall, and I would put it on the wall. And I would cross the days off like I was in
You'd
prison.
actually cross it off before it even started. The first thing you did in the morning was to cross off the day.
Because I became so incredibly lonely. So what I suppose, there's lots of ways to diagnose it, but and this is a medical situation here that we're talking about, okay? This is not just, I'm feeling a bit lonely. This is something that is impacting on health and on the general health of the population. And the TikTok advert, it was of a clock ticking in the room, and it getting louder and louder. Because every I used to think if I had a day off, every minute felt like an hour. Every second felt like at least 10 minutes. And the clock used to go, boom, like that. And I know for many of you, weekends were your worst, weren't they?
Yeah,
that was it.
they were the worst.
And you didn't ask for help.
Well,
did you? You said
no. I mean,
weekends were bad because
they were bad because I was on my own, and I used to feel that everyone else was out with their families. They were busy doing things, and who wanted to have a mother with 3 small boys suddenly around as well? Because I knew that it was quite noisy. So I used to have to create a pattern for the weekend that was easier to manage. To avoid that.
Okay, so I think
So
actually, what can we do?
What can we do for each other?
And what we've tried to do, now it's important, and I think you must all get this, that Sue and I cannot answer the phones to people every time they phone. It is we have a terribly busy life with 3 elderly and parents.
Well, we've got 3 parents in their 90s.
In their 90s now. So, 2 in Reading, 1 down the road. But visitation, work, everything that's at Sue now in her life, she's hardly here at all. She's out at the burying here. But for many of you, you've lost partners and things like that. Yeah. And so when you put the balloon up, I think often in this community, if you're a member of the JV community, right? I know that many people post, Victoria posts an awful lot. She's got, is it fibromyalgia? She's got lots of things.
She's posted lots of funny videos, which is great.
So engage in that. There are about 940 people on that, in that community, on that Facebook community. That's one thing you can do. You can, because they're all on Messenger, you can write a thing. Don't necessarily just phone people unless they give you permission to do so. Because otherwise you then create another problem. And we don't want to create this thing where people then Sue, go on. So
Rachel's very cleverly put up this how to become part of the JV community. If you're not already there, then what you need to do is to go onto the facebook.com/groups and find JV Community Official, and you can ask to join, and it will then ask you 3 questions, very simple questions that are, how do you know about this and so on. All you've got to do is reply to show that you're not a robot, and then we will be able to accept you into that sort of particularly closed group that has actually got 900 people in it, and it's fabulous, and it has helped so many people. So if you're not already a member of the JV community, please become a member. You can engage as much as you want to or as little as you want to.
And then what happens is in the middle of the night, there's a community that is up late at night. Sometimes John Bound might meet you, wake up in the morning, middle of the night.
For a number of people, isn't it? People have suddenly found themselves worried about something in the middle of the night. They put it on Facebook and
somebody's up.
People are up. So it's a really safe place for you to express yourself, actually.
So really, but put the balloon up. Do not sit for days and weeks and hours in a house on your own. We can help you guiding you towards help and in your area. And we can ask people if they know people in the area who can help with social services and that if we're not anywhere near you. But don't suffer on your own, please. No. Loneliness is a debilitating thing. Sue asked me to sing this one.
I did.
From Old Blue Eyes. In the wee small hours. In the wee small hours of the morning, while the whole wide world is fast asleep, you lie awake and think about the girl and never ever think of counting sheep. When your lonely heart has learned this lesson, you'd be hers if only she would call in the wee small hours of the morning.
That's the time you miss her most. Oh. When your lonely heart has learned its lesson, you'd be hers if only she would call in the wee small hours of the morning. That's the time you miss her most of all. It's ballad night here on JV Live in the Steinway Room. Anything, Sue, that's come through? All right, I'll ask you no more questions on that one. In which case, could you do some notices, please?
I can do some notices with pleasure. So we have got a wonderful concert. Oh, hang on a minute. Go back, Rachel. Thank you. We have a wonderful concert coming up on the next weekend, on the 8th of July. St John the Evangelist Church in Churchdown, run by David and Mary Connell, the concert's run by them. Really looking forward to that event. They've worked so hard. They've got the publicity out there. They've done really, really well. So really looking forward to that next Saturday. So if you're near Gloucester, then come and join us. It will be wonderful to see you. Then the next event that we've got is our trip to Thornley Hotel up in Grange over Sands. I know a number of you are coming to that, which will be exciting. So we're doing a week, followed by a weekend, followed by a week. So so that's going to be interesting.
Camera?
No.
No, right.
So
It's going to be a long 2 weeks.
yeah, it's going to be fab.
Can't wait.
I'm looking forward to lots of people.
I really can't
and,
wait. I can't wait. It's going to be good.
It's going to be good. Then in September, at the end of September, we are off to Longton in Stoke-on-Trent for a lovely one-man show. Then we've got a couple in October. On the 7th, we're in Fordingbridge with Anne and Mel Bainan. And at the end of October, we're at St John's Church in Stoneleigh. November, at the end of November at the moment, we are doing Christmas with JV at St John's Walton in Chesterfield. And I know that John and Margaret are very excited about that and getting behind that, which is brilliant. And then the other two Christmas ones, on the 2nd of December, we are in Pett in Hastings. And on the 9th, we are in Christchurch and St Paul's in Paignton. So some exciting dates coming up next autumn.
And I think we've got some coming through, have we?
And we have got some coming through. So can I just say, if you are considering this, if you're thinking about this kind of thing, please just write to me and ask questions, and we can start taking it from there. So that would be fantastic. So we have got a few more Steinway dates coming up. So Rachel, if you want to show us those. In July, we've got the 16th with Sue Rinaldi, and then we've got the 30th at the end of the month. So 2 in July. And I know we keep you on your toes with these dates, but what can I say? It keeps us on our toes as well.
Yeah, and
then,
can I just say, just as a mention, that this is one of these people who say, I don't know where I am with it. Well, you know, sometimes we simply cannot do shows today all the time. Today I've come back from Cotswolds at 4 o'clock, and we put this on. I was allowed to have a little kip. I was up at 6 this morning. So sometimes we can't do them 1 week after another. I hope you do understand that. And it's just one of those things where we have to do what we can do. Now we're back on the road, and we're away a lot. So just we beg your understanding in this matter. but we do what we can. Tonight was an extra one that we put in because we didn't want to let you down. All right, that's it.
Indeedy. And so, where are we going with these? Oh, yes. So, YouTube is building up nicely. So, if you want to find out about little extra videos that we put out, that would be fantastic. So, what you need to do is on YouTube, you need to click on the subscribe button as it shows you on this screen. So, you click on the like, you click on the subscribe. It doesn't cost you a penny. But what it does mean is that with the more we get, so we are inching painfully one subscription at a time to 1,000. Can't wait to get to 1,000 because when we get to 1,000, it's, well, I think it's about 939 at the moment, but could be more. So don't forget to subscribe. You can subscribe from all your email addresses as well, and then you get notifications of when we put something out, which is great. And Rachel is putting new things out each week on a Wednesday.
So watch them.
We get the video going out, which is fantastic. And right, yes, the Steinway guest interviews. They are coming out on the 7th of July at 7 p.m. So the 7th of the 7th month at 7 p.m. We are going to start having guests and interviews as separate, discrete items that you can watch and you can see the interviews again without everything else around it. So
and there are loads of fabulous interviews.
Just fabulous interviews,
outstanding.
and yeah, you'll want to pick those up actually because they're fantastic. If you want to contact me, my email address is sue@jonathanveira.com, and I can talk to you through that about if you want to ask a question about hosting a one-man show or going to a one-man show, that kind of thing. If you want to know more details about all the dates that I've mentioned, then you need to go to the website, which is www.jonathanveira.com. And that's got a calendar. It's also got a shop. So you can find out all the details on the calendar of where the shows are, how to get tickets, and how much the tickets are, when it starts, and so on. So that's all the information there for you. Yes, we have got our away day. It's nearly full. Really? Gosh.
Fantastic.
Wow, that was quick. So I was right. Wednesday, the 15th of November, we have got a lovely JV and Suvi away day.
And very many other people.
At St Catherine's Parmore, which is Stuart's place of work. And it's a lovely place. It's a beautiful, restful place near to Marlow and places like that, Henley and so on. So it's fantastic. So if you go onto this place, onto this site here that we've got here, so go to jvlive.uk/JV retreat. All the details are there, and you'll be able to work out how to. You should be able to click on the link. You should be able to click on the link, and you can stay if you want to the night before. You can stay afterwards. So there's all kinds of options there for you. But it would be wonderful to have you there with us. We would absolutely love it.
What are we doing on that away day? Well, again, we'll be doing a whole lot of things, and actually, so will you. There'll be things surprising to us because we're just going to let it run. We want people to meet, get together and have a bit of a sing-song, bit of a, if you want to bring some instruments, that might be frightening, but there you go. We'll have a go. And we'll just enjoy ourselves and eat together, chat together, and find out all about lots of things.
It's about being together, actually. It's about being together. This sign up is not, you're not asked for money at this point. This is a register of interest so that we can see how far we can take it forward. So that's the idea. No money going out yet. It's just register your interest. Yes, we want to go for You've Got a Friend Trust, don't we?
We do indeed. We really need to talk about this.
We do. So, Got a Friend Trust. Over to you, JV.
Can you put me on the camera, please?
Yes.
And so, You've Got a Friend Trust. And I know Adrian Pinnock in the Isle of Wight is sitting here right at the moment and as the chairman. And I don't know whether he's going to be able to come on that away day because it would be a good thing to report to you about what is happening on that day. But one of the things about it is that you might need it. That's the first thing. You might need help. If you do, don't be too proud to ask. Don't be. Just come. If you want to chat about it with Sue or I, you can, and then we'll pass you on to a very gentle Adrian who will just go through with you a few questions. If you can't fill in forms, then just tell us. He will then be able to help you fill in the form online. They'll just then see what your need is and see if they can help you. We can't guarantee they will. We cannot pay your mortgage for you. I know we cannot pay your rent. Life is tough, I know, at the moment, and it's an arm around you. It's to say we care for you, and that's one way that in this loneliness thing we were talking about, you know, sometimes you lose the ability to speak to people when you need an arm around you, and that's something we'd like to do for you. So you've got a friend, Trust. You go there, and if you'd like to donate, because of course it's only donating from people in this community that helps, donations that help to provide the money so that people can be helped. And they provided a number of gifts, a number of grants to people for various things. We'd like you to do that. Don't forget, Got a Friend Trust. And I think, Sue, it's back over to you.
Yes. No, I think we're done on this.
We're done. In which case, what I want to do now, I'd like to head into the interview, the exclusive interview with Steve Legg, a long-time friend of this show. And as you know, many of you know, he's been in a little bit of they call it local difficulty. And he's had some blasting immunotherapy to try and deal with this cancer. He was in great form when I met him. We had a little chat, and, well, here it is. Enjoy the interview, and I'll see you in a few minutes. Here we are in Hampton of the Little Hampton. Little Hampton. It was a nice little drive down here actually today.
Isn't it a beautiful part of the world?
It is, and Steve Legg, here he is.
Hello,
the man himself, the man, the legend, the leg end himself. How you feeling, mate?
Here in my we should say orangery, shouldn't we?
I said orangery. This is. You are such a pretentious person. I mean, you wouldn't find me saying stuff like that. And you've got your beautiful dog down here.
I know.
She's beautiful.
When does a conservatory become an orangery?
Well, actually, and I'm going to tell you a story.
This?
No, this is true, because I went and had to do a performance once. It wasn't one of the highlights of my life, I can say. And the woman was a steaming social climber. I'm not going to mention names. Steaming social climber, and he was a friend, and she didn't really know me. And she came into the house and she said, "I wonder whether you would do a performance." She didn't really talk like that, but she said, "I wonder whether you would do a performance for us." And I said, "Well," she said, "you could do it basically in the orangery," and he said, "Conservatory." She said, "Oh no, but the estate agent described it as an orangery." He said, "He would."
Very good.
It's a conservatory. So I thought that's nice. Now this, I would say, you can't see it, but there's a lovely big tree, the yucca tree type of thing over there.
Do you know, that was a fiver from IKEA about 15 years ago. I reckon we could get 150 quid for that now.
150, yeah, you certainly could. Are you serious?
Yeah.
You've grown it that much?
Tiny little thing.
And let's not forget, this is Becca Legg's set of cushions. I bet you that she did the cushions.
No, I chose the cushions because
What?
these are waterproof and normally sit outside on our sofa in the garden.
See, I feel, if you don't mind me saying, you've betrayed the gender.
I do apologise.
But because...
Well, look at the stuff I wear.
Yeah, I know. You're always Mr. Colourful, aren't you? I know. And it's been, actually, yeah, how are you feeling these days? What's going on with you, Stevie boy?
Do you know, I'm doing all right. When was I last with you?
It would have been sometime... Was it sometime
winter.
last year?
Yeah.
It was just before...
I think
Yeah.
it was before Christmas.
It was before Christmas.
Well,
and we had you over and you didn't do what I asked you to do. I asked you to saw Sue in half.
know.
You just wouldn't do it. And now she's claiming a pension. She's going to cost the government as a result. You could have had it. You could have, she could have done the deed.
Should have been twice the woman she was. Didn't she? Yeah, I saw you guys before Christmas. I've been on this cancer journey, as you know. We
Yeah, I know.
18
Bit of
months
a
ago.
Bothersome little irksome thing, isn't it? This.
I know, and the stuff I've got is really weird type of skin cancer.
So
It's called acral melanoma, which is really unusual, particularly in white people. It's mainly...
What do you mean by that then?
I know.
Are you white? I didn't even notice your colour.
Thank you.
Well,
Well, I often say this to you.
all right then. There we go.
So we started on this journey, a tiny little mark on my foot that they took out, and it spread to my lymph nodes, and it had grown, and various ops and more taken out. And saw you guys in November, December.
Yeah.
Carried on treatment.
Yes,
And,
there was we had that interview with Becca, who was more. You always seem to be the optimistic one.
Do you know what? I still am, John. I still am
You
the
are,
eternal
aren't you?
optimist. Anything can turn around in a split second. But after spring harvest, went to see our oncologist and walked in there, and this poor woman looked like she'd been crying. And I thought, flipping heck. And basically she says nothing's worked and the cancer's spread. So I had this big op in January. They took all my lymph nodes out in the pelvis and groin. I've got a scar, looks like I've been in a shark attack. And they took 19 lymph nodes out, found cancer in 9. But essentially it spread to my spine, liver, all over really.
Yeah.
And she said, nothing's going to work. And man, that was a body blow. And I said, well, how long have I got then, Doc? I said, 5 days, 5 weeks, 5 months, 5 years, thinking she'd say, oh, probably 10, 15
yes,
years.
yes.
She said, probably 5 months.
Well,
Yeah.
how did that go in the room?
Well, do you know, I held it all together and I said, how should we tell our kids? And then Becca said, our Amber was going to have a baby in June, which she's just had. And the oncologist said, well, you should be around to hold the baby. And you thought, flip it, because I still don't feel ill.
No,
really.
you don't, do you? No,
I
you
look
look
good.
You look fantastic. I mean, you do.
You know, other men have said fit and hunky, but I'll accept okay.
No, I'm just going to say I'm not. I don't use those words when it comes to my friends.
Fair
Fit and
play.
hunky,
Fair
unless I can use it to describe myself, which I'm quite egotistical. But you definitely do look fit
Thank
and
you.
very. But you were always quite a muscular build. I always remember that.
You must be.
No, you were.
And I
But
look
you
good
were
with
an
a suntan.
escapologist,
I
weren't
know
you?
your suntan helps.
But you were an
Yeah,
escapologist. You had to
familiar.
be in
Schedule
training.
from straight jackets and chains and stuff. So we came out the oncologist, had picked 2 of our girls up from Gatwick Airport. They'd been out in Australia, 3 other girls to tell as well. So Becca told them that night, I couldn't tell them. And I think probably for 3 days I didn't eat anything and just didn't stop crying. On the plus side, you can see my cheekbones and I could get into 34 trousers.
34.
I was aware, and you will know this better than anyone watching or listening, I had to do 4 gigs that weekend. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I had to go and make people laugh.
Yeah.
And I was sat in this room in my seat over there, thinking, I just can't do it.
No.
I just can't do it. And I thought,
Did you say so to Becca?
I said, I don't think I can do it. And then I thought, no, I need to pull myself together here. And I had a good talking to myself and did 4 gigs, and people laughed and I laughed. I don't realise how much I laugh at my own jokes on stage. My girls have always said, Dad, you're always laughing at your own jokes. I said, no, I don't. And then someone took a load of photos once, and every photo I was laughing. And I did these gigs, and I came out really energised. And it had been wonderful. I mean, we're self-employed, we need the money as well.
Yeah, that's it.
And
I don't think people get that side, do they? That if you suddenly stop,
Yeah,
where's the
We
money
haven't got
coming
sick
from?
pay.
Yeah, no, there is nothing.
yeah. If you're not working, you're not earning.
But also, it was interesting for me how you told me this, and I thought, this is very interesting. It can go either way. I mean,
Well, you said to me, do it.
yeah. Oh, you do as much as you can whenever you can, and I think actually that people, when you stop, when you get diagnosed with anything like this, they go, oh, sit down.
Yeah.
And I think, no, I'm going to be sitting down an awful lot.
Yes.
Actually, so what I want to do is stand up, and I want to be doing things. So sitting at the piano or telling gags or doing what we do, doing tricks, inspiring people is what you do.
Well, I thought I don't want to sit here till the middle of September with a little calendar marking the days
no,
off,
no, oh.
feeling sorry for myself. I want to go and do what I love doing, what God has called me to do, what I love doing, inspiring people. And on the Sunday morning, the last gig of the 4, I was talking about the illness. And it was such a powerful moment in that church. We were meant to have a little communion afterwards, just 4 of us. And nearly the whole church came and joined in. And unbelievers came along, and there was prayer for people. And I still believe God can heal me.
Yeah,
I really do.
absolutely.
And I'm having the treatment, I'm having this more immunotherapy.
So how's that going?
Yeah, I've had 3 doses, no side effects at all. The doctors can't almost believe it. So it's really quite toxic. So it's not chemo, it's a form of chemo that's a bit different. So I have this infusion in my arm that takes, oh man, that's 6 hours the first time I went.
Really?
Yeah, oh, there's
What
waiting around.
you had to have some, and then but you also had to have the
I had
radiotherapy,
yeah,
the mask made or
I had
something.
cyber knife on my brain.
You mentioned this before.
What a
What's
crazy
cyber knife?
Well, I know exactly. It scares the living daylights out of you, doesn't it? Essentially, this big robot that gives you radiotherapy. So they found 3 little specks on my brain, and then by the time I went up to have it done, there were 14. The problem with melanoma is it spreads
metastasized,
so fast. So the week before I had a mask made, so they put this thing on your head to make this perfect mask. And then doing the therapy the following week, 2.5 hours laying on this bed with this mask pinned onto you, or screwed onto you actually, onto the bed so you can't move.
Yeah.
And this robot moves around for 2.5 hours, blasting all the bits of cancer in your brain in a very accurate way.
And did that just very loud or very?
It was nothing really, just boring and hot, because I always get hot anyway. And it was very fun. Everywhere I go, I see the funny side of things.
Yeah.
So they said, would you like some music to listen to? And I said, go on. And I think I was probably one of the youngest who's ever been to have it done. And they said, do you want classical? I said, no, I'd rather have chart music. Would you believe it? The second song, one of my favourites, Cutting Crew, I Died in Your Arms Tonight. And I said to them afterwards, having done hospital radio back in the day.
You did that as well?
Yeah.
What did you do? Where did you do that?
Oh, Radio Bedside in Bournemouth.
In Radio Bedside.
Yeah.
Isn't that nice?
And
I
as
love
you
that.
all know, you do hospital radio, you can't do Another One Bites the Dust.
No.
You can't do
Suicide is Painless.
A load of these songs. So
I did Madness. You can't do so any songs by that. I did a psychiatric hospital in Tooting Bec, which is Tooting Bec, and I met a famous pianist there, and he was and I was given a list about this long of the stuff I couldn't play, and I said, "You're joking," and they said, "No, you can't play any of this stuff." And I'm really interested.
So
you did
they
it.
were so apologetic, and I said no. I found it hilarious. I said I almost moved because I was laughing so much. And you're there for 2.5 hours, and all these things go through your head. And I think I've got to say something funny when I get back to the change rooms, to the waiting rooms.
Yeah,
You tell we're artists.
Super.
Changing rooms.
To the team room.
So I walk in after 2.5 hours. There's Becca sat there. She looks up all worried, and I said, "Who are you?" But I couldn't keep a straight face. So everyone else in the room laughed, thinking that was hilarious.
We find our way through humour. It's the dark side, particularly. The darker it is, the more I think actually we need to laugh at it. I can't, and I think it's very interesting actually that as performers we're constantly looking a way of either diluting the pain, almost like a natural pain reliever, is humour. You know.
And I think for the staff and the people you meet, I mean, this Dr. Westwood's lovely lady, she so cared. She was in tears when she told me. And then we spoke the following week, and she told me about the cyber knife, and she said, "You'll have to have steroids for 3 days." And I said, "Oh, well, you know, every cloud has a silver line. I'll get down the gym and pump iron." And she said, "Only you would find something positive in a situation like that." And I thought, that's quite powerful.
But you are. It's what carries you through. It's very interesting when we did that interview, which I think would be interesting to look back on now, actually, to talk about what the characters that we are, because Becca is one who takes it deeply, and it's really she was wanting to say quite loudly, well, he may be about that, but this is how I am.
I mean, she's not a pessimist. She's maybe more realistic, the opposite, really.
Yes.
Like you and Sue.
Yeah, it is exactly the same. We couldn't, if you had two of us alike in a relationship, how
it'd be
exhausting
crazy.
would that be? So I think actually we have the right wives, that's for sure.
Well, she's nagged me. She nagged me about my foot in the first place. What's this little mark on the underside of your foot? When I promised to move back, she said, "Oh, you ought to speak to the cancer team."
Yeah.
I thought, "Oh, come on! I've been picking up T-shirts in the garage,
Yeah.
for
she
my
knows.
gig." She said, "Well, have a word with them. You know, when I was feeling ill, just prior to knowing I had type 1 diabetes, speak to the cancer nurse." If I was a single man, I wouldn't have done any of these things.
No, I think that's true for. I think that's true for most of us. Actually, I think men do tend to treat illness as though it doesn't exist.
Well, I think we think it's a sign of weakness. We don't like to talk about such things. So I've started a podcast with a doctor friend of mine, Dr. Ken, Men's Health Matters podcast.
Yeah.
So I realised until I was mid-50s, they'd never had anything wrong with me in all my life.
No.
I had chicken pox when I was 18. That was about it. You know,
Nothing
we don't
else.
talk about
no.
things. So we've done diabetes, and we're doing prostate issues, and we're doing all sorts of things that are issues for men, but we don't talk about.
No.
Which means that you could listen into a podcast and share that with your pals.
That's a note. Listen to where can we?
Men's Health Matters podcast. It's on all the podcast streaming.
Men's Health.
things.
We'll find the link.
You should get Dr. Ken on your show as well.
That'd be
Dr.
good.
Ken
Actually.
is brilliant.
Is he good?
Fabulous.
How do you get to know him then? What was that?
Through Connect Radio. Do a show on Connect
right,
Radio.
yes.
He's now our sorted GP, and he's brilliant.
That's worth a thought.
I think so. To have a doc regularly, and people, you can ask it totally anonymous.
Yes.
You know, we have lots of questions for a friend.
Actually, that would be good to set up. That would. Do you think he'd do it?
Definitely, he'd love to. He's in Bonnie, Scotland, but zoom him in.
That'd be
He'd love
brilliant.
that.
That'd be
But
brilliant.
he's like Dr. Hillary
Yeah, yeah.
on GMTV.
We'll have a go at that.
Yeah.
I don't want to go on too long because I think actually you need to have a sleep and then I need to get back to Guildford. But I think actually that you talked about inspiring people. I think this is something that you continue to do. How do you find that? Do you find the weight of that too much? Do you find it that you want to get out there and keep inspiring people as long as you can, do as much as you can, and do it all over the place? Is that what you're thinking? That
I don't think I'm particularly inspiring. People tell me I'm inspiring.
Well,
I
that's
just
not for you
think
to say.
I don't think it is. I just crack on doing what I do, and just telling people, there's a God in heaven who loves people, wants to be their very best friend. And I don't know, if you'd have asked me 35 years ago when I was first a Christian, I had everything sewn up. The longer I've been a Christian, stuff is less black and white, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh.
And I would say healing is a lack of faith back in the day. I don't say that anymore because we know people full of faith.
Well, who did we have on? We had Ishmael.
Yes.
And it said exactly that. I think he said he felt that at that time hospital was a failure, was second best.
Yeah.
And yet actually what we're dealing here, you're
Yeah.
having immunotherapy and they're doing their best actually to
And
try
I'm
and
meeting, Jonathan, the people I've met,
Yeah.
I would never have met in a million years.
No.
And I've met some amazing people and who do an incredible job. I mean, it's phenomenal. So I just crack on doing what I'm doing. And I don't know, I believe God will heal me, but if he doesn't, listen, we all know we're going to heaven.
Yeah.
I might get there sooner than I'd originally
Yeah.
planned.
I think that's the point, isn't it? That you and I can talk. I have blood tests. I've got another on the way here. I had a conversation with the hospital, and my next one is the 13th. And every blood test, and the kidney can do that or that, and you're waiting for the blood test.
Yeah.
And that with a critical illness like you have and like I have, which is always hanging on the edge, you have a different way of looking at life now. And I think that has been it's been very inspirational to me, the way that you live with it.
Oh, thank you.
Because I'm not like I'm the pessimist. I'm the guy who is always the glass is not half empty. Someone has stolen the glass. There is no glass. Okay, that's for me. So listening, I wanted to talk to you about this because I think it actually can help an awful lot of people out there. Because I know in the community, a lot of you are suffering this, that, and the other, and we stand with you. But here's a man who actually. There is a me to live is Christ, isn't there? There is an aspect to this, but let's be absolutely frank. None of us want to die. We've got people that we love. Your wife, your children.
I'm a granddad now.
Your granddad, your grandchild. I mean, all the friends that you've got. You can't have many, obviously, but just.
I've got one less now.
What? But he used to be my friend. Anyway. But you've got all these things, and we don't want to say. And I love nature. I love the beauty.
I was going to say I've learned to be grateful for stuff.
Yeah.
To be even more grateful. I'm very grateful for all sorts of stuff. You took us out for dinner. Oh, made my week.
That was a lovely meal, wasn't it?
This beautiful day. Seriously, I wake up probably like you, 4 o'clock in the morning for a wee in the middle of the night.
Oh yeah.
And I can hear birds singing, and I thank God as I'm having a wee. That I've got legs that
make it to the toilet.
Yes, that there's birds singing, that I'm alive, and I went down the beach today with Becca. It's just beautiful.
Yes.
I just learn to appreciate things and be really grateful and live every day, not as if it's your last, but no, I think I would see you if it was my last day because you're a good chum of mine.
I think
really
that is a beautiful thing to say. I mean that because I think that's what people feel. You are known to be the man you say on the tin. That's for me. If I'm going to leave something, legacy. Everybody's always talking legacy, aren't they? What do we leave behind? What is it that we leave? And I'd love to. I'm no perfect human being. I make so many screw up all over the place, but I would like it to be known that I am the man that they saw on the tin. Jonathan, he was kind to kids and dogs, and he was all right. And that they can definitely say that about
Well,
you.
that's
And
nice.
the reports, in the Bible, Paul says, we have heard reports of you. And that, when people say that, we've heard reports of you, and you, Steve, have always been the people that we've heard good reports about. You are the man. And I know
think
why
there's something
Ben
about
fell in love with you.
consistency, isn't there?
Yeah, I think it
Well,
is.
You and I would know probably better than most. You see people on the platform,
Yeah.
and then you meet them in real life, and they're often not the same,
It's a
which is
disappointment.
shocking.
It's just so awful. And I you don't know, but I first got out of Christian work way back in the beginning when I was before I went to opera, because I couldn't stand. I'd seen a few things that were terrible, and I witnessed them at a high level and big name Christian leaders at that time, and I just said to Sue, I can't do it. I cannot do it, and I won't do it. So I left, and it was actually only a few people that restored. It takes only a couple of people who've got integrity, and
It's consistency.
yeah, it is, and I think you're one of those. And
thank you.
I think actually what this community online have been, I think, actually very consistent with you as well.
Do you know what? I was going to say, can I say thank you? You've been amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you for the phone calls. Well, maybe not the phone calls, but I don't
No.
like people phoning me.
Don't phone him. If you phone him, I'll find out.
But the notes, the messages, it's amazing.
It is actually, and they genuinely do.
And you can get inundated. And we were saying earlier off camera, the messages we love is, we love you, we're praying for you, no need to respond. Because
That's the
sometimes
one.
people get upset
Yes.
if you don't respond, and I'm likely to give you a thumbs up, and sometimes that winds people up. But when you come back from a procedure and you've had 175
You
texts,
can't do it.
you just want to come home, have a beer, and watch Repair Shop. Well, I do anyway.
You need to get out more.
Do you not watch Repair Shop?
I do not.
Have you never
I
seen
hate
it?
DIY. What's wrong with you? This is the joke of the community.
Well, I'm open
I
to
met-
DIY, but
I mended a gnome the other day.
Did you?
Yeah, he broke his foot off, okay? And it was a major operation,
Yeah.
okay, surgical
Yes.
it was. And I literally, went to the shop, got some glue and stuck it back on. Now, Sue was
it was
so...
the wrong way round, but
Yeah, but it doesn't matter about that, does
you
it?
did the job.
I did the job and the gnome was mended.
There we are.
Everything else, no, but repair shop, you see, because you're good at mending things,
No,
aren't
I'm rubbish.
you? Are you?
But it's just filmed up the road. I see the Teddy Bear Ladies once a year at an event. I love it. It's a beautiful show. I love the fact there's no jeopardy, there's no competition.
No,
They're all
no.
rooting for each other.
no.
I hate these things where they're all competing against each other.
You're
It's been
quite a
nice.
cooperative kind of guy, aren't you? You
I
are.
hate friction. Some people love bust ups, don't they, in arguments? I hate them.
You hate that.
Hate them.
Have you always hated confrontation?
Yeah. If I'm at a gig and there's 199 people laughing and one person not enjoying it,
Yeah.
I
Well,
tend to focus on them when we shouldn't do it. Maybe they've had a bad
There's a
day.
brilliant film with Billy Crystal called Mr. Saturday Night.
Okay.
Watch it because it's about exactly that, and they focus on this. It was one of his early gigs, and there was one guy sitting in turntables like this, and you would not laugh. The rest, and he constantly came back and he said to his manager, "What was wrong with that guy? Why couldn't I make him laugh?" And it's the same thing for me.
You're
the one
saying-
that was lost. I can't bear it. I suddenly focus in on the man who's sitting there going, "I didn't find that funny."
Yeah.
Well, I didn't like the voice. What do you mean you did it all over? No, I can't bear it. So I'm like you. We do focus. We try and
We want
please
everyone to
people.
be happy, yeah.
Yeah, we do. We want the gig to go well,
Yeah.
and we want it to be people to be genuinely touched, moved, whatever. There's so many that you've done that you think, oh, I really wish I hadn't done that one. But in general,
Exactly.
you do the thing. You've been I'm going to stop because you've given enough time. You've given enough of your time. Can people see you around? What do you do? You're
Lots
doing a
of
big
gigs.
what's this gathering of the
The
men?
gathering,
The one
that
that you
is-
haven't invited me to. That
That's
one.
this weekend, yeah.
Oh, is it that one? Right.
That's this weekend. Still gigging around the country. Please invite me to your church for a night of family-friendly comedy magic. Works great. I was in North Devon last week. Had a wonderful time. Swindon next weekend. Then Bracknell. All over the country.
You can find it out on Steve.
SteveLegg.com. Message me and I'll tell you where I am. But invite me to come and do a gig. It's great fun.
Definitely do. You know what he's like. It's brilliant, and I hope one day we can get back in the room and he can definitely finish
Just
off
do it.
Sue. All right, just finish her off. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
All right. So,
Cool.
anyway, thanks, mate.
Cheers, pal.
God bless you.
Well, what a fabulous interview. Beautifully done, the two of you, and what an inspiration that man is, and his lovely wife Becca too. And we pray for them and we care for them, and our hearts go out to them at this point. And I think this song just says it all, really. Because he lives, we can face tomorrow. Thank you, Chloe, for suggesting this. It's just the perfect song for following on from that particular interview.
God and His Son, He named Him Jesus. He came to love, heal and forgive. He lived and died to buy my pardon. An empty grave is there to prove my Savior lives. Because He lives, I can face tomorrow. Because He lives, all fear is gone. Because I know He holds the future, and life is worth living just because He lives. How sweet to hold a newborn baby and feel the pride and joy He gives. But greater still, the calm assurance this child can face uncertain days because He lives. Because He lives, I can face tomorrow. Because He lives, all fear is gone. Because I know He holds the future, and life is worth living just because He lives. And then someday I'll cross the river, I'll fight life's final war with pain, and then as death gives way to victory, I'll see the light of glory, and I know He lives. Because He lives, I can face tomorrow. Because He lives, all fear is gone. Because I know He holds the future, and life is worth the living just because He lives, and life is worth the living just because He lives. I want Jesus to walk with me. I want Jesus to walk with me all along my pilgrim journey. I want Jesus to walk with me. In my trial, walk with me. In my trial, oh Lord, walk with me. Oh, when the shades are falling, I want Jesus to walk with me. My sorrows, oh Lord, walk with me. In my sorrows, oh Lord, walk with me. When my heart is breaking, I want Jesus to walk with me. Play it, Bryn, come on. And my joys, oh Lord, walk with me. Oh, and my joys, oh Lord, walk with me. When my life is filled with laughter, Jesus to walk with me. In my trial, walk with me. In my sorrow, oh Lord, walk with me. In my joy, oh Lord, walk with me. I want Jesus to walk with me.
walk with me. I want Jesus to walk with me. 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 Great song.
Great song indeed.
Great
Great
arrangement.
song.
It's been lovely
Lovely.
being with you tonight.
It has indeed, lovely people.
We're just going to
weren't,
sing a song
we
now.
weren't sure we were going to do it tonight, but I'm glad we did, actually.
Yeah, it was
I'm
good,
glad we
wasn't
did.
it?
It was lovely. And lovely interview with Steve. I think that's touched a lot of people.
Was that
And,
right?
Yeah, a lot of
right,
people have
that's
found
nice.
that very moving. And
It was lovely to see him, and I have to say, in
yeah.
closing, just to say, he is that man. You go there,
know,
and you're expecting
know.
something else, and Steve, in amidst all of this, he shows us
Yes.
how to live.
Yeah, he does. He does.
Right? I came back, and I got in the car, and I was in silence all the way back. Actually, I was silence all the way
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
back.
It was
So we
great.
send him big love. I don't think he's watching
We
that
do.
tonight, but
We
just
do,
sending
but
it
we'll
out.
We do send him lots of love.
And if you
And
want to send him
Becca
anything
too.
else, then send
Yeah,
it to him.
yeah.
If you want to know how,
Indeed.
get to us,
Yes.
and we'll, because times are going to be tricky. So
Mm-hmm.
get to us. All right. This one, as we leave you. And are you going to sing with us tonight? Do you
yeah.
feel? Do you want to?
Yeah.
Well,
do.
come and join me then.
Okie doke.
Stop your fiddle faddling around. Here she is, the singing star from the.
Stop it.
What? You all said the same thing, but you go. Oh, you preen yourself a little. Oh, is that all right? Can you see yourself? All right.
It's nice.
Well, it's okay. Don't worry about me. I'll
Just-
just shuffle
just
up. I've
balance-
got one
balance
cheek.
on the-
But literally,
That's on the edge.
one. I got my. Well, don't. I was quite enjoying that one cheek there. The one cheek experience. All right. It'd be lovely being with you, everybody. And
Yes, it
it
has.
goes like this. Sing along if you know it. Go peaceful in gentleness through the violence of these days. Give freely, show tenderness in all your ways. Through darkness, in troubled times, let holiness be your aim. Seek wisdom, let faithfulness burn like a flame. Godspeed you, God lead you, and keep you wrapped around His heart. May you be known by love. I suppose being known by love is what we're talking about with the loneliness stuff. It was lovely actually going to see my mother yesterday, who's been in and out of hospital having stuff drained from her legs, and she's, as usual, she has fortitude as my mother, 90 years old,
Extraordinary woman, as sharp as a tack. And,
she was there with a friend from the
Yes.
church, young man, 30 years old, something like that,
yeah,
and he went to see her, to chat with her, 90 years old. I love
Lovely.
that. You know, it was a lovely thing, so
Special.
very special. So we're going to see her tomorrow. Take her to see my dad. Let's see how he is tomorrow.
yes, and I'm seeing my mum tomorrow as well.
So
Lost
that,
the hearing aid, so it could be very interesting.
go peaceful.
Yes.
She could go completely. Oh well, here we go. Be righteous, speak truthfully in a world of greed and lies. through heaven's eyes. God holds you, enfold you, and keep you wrapped around his heart. May you be known by love. God holds you, enfold you, and keep you wrapped around his heart. May you be known by love. So, what we talked about with the loneliness and stuff. Now, you notice I've got a new hat on, and that's got nothing to do with loneliness. I just need you to know. I put
There's a special
got
music code in there.
music code, and it's Piano Man, and that was given to me by Rachel for my birthday. And it's I know that she has enjoyed meeting so many people online, and that this community has been a lifeline for her. If you're new to this community and you want to write, please do write to us on Messenger. We'll get your letter, or we'll get your and we will write back. Okay, just give us a moment. But we love you joining and becoming part of the thing, watching the videos, watching the Scottish video, which is up to 18.1 thousand views, which has broken all records.
They all think he's Scottish.
They all think I'm
going back
Scottish.
into Scotland.
But this one, this little blessing, whether you believe or not, it's somebody said from Australia once, it's a real comfort to know this one. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine on you. The Lord bless you and keep you, and give you his peace. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine on you. The Lord bless you and keep you, and give you his peace, and give you his peace. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord turn his face toward you. The Lord bless you and keep you, and be gracious to you. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord turn his face toward you. The Lord bless you and keep you, and be gracious to you, and be gracious to you. Stay tuned for this channel, the JV channel, the YouTube channel. We post things from time to time, and on Facebook I'll be coming online and saying hello to everybody from time to time before the next concert, which is, what is it? I can't remember. Whatever.
16th.
The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine on you. The Lord bless you and keep you, and give you his peace, and give you his peace. And a final thank you to Rachel, who joined us 40 minutes in.
She did.
Claire, who's done so much work on the technical side tonight to get everything ready. So all of you, thank you all for being involved. Thank you for coming and being with us. 16th of July, be here for Sue Rinaldi, and a lot of fun. Okay, God bless you. Have a good few weeks, and see you soon.
Peace be with you guys.
Bye.
Bye.